Okay, that's it. I'm done. Like, actually, seriously, emotionally done. I think if I stare at this screen for one more minute, my brain will try to escape through my ears. Dramatically, loudly, possibly in flames. Don't give me that face. You know I tried. You saw me being all responsible and focused and stuff. But this is officially the line, right here. Line, drawn, crossed, set on fire. Besides, you've been way too productive for this hour. It's kinda scary, honestly. What are you powered by? Spite? Caffeine? Dark, academic vibes? And a self-destructive sense of duty? Because, if so, respect. Deep, genuine respect. But also, take a break, you overachiever. Look at us, two slightly functional adults, sitting here in the middle of the night like we're saving the world. Spoiler alert, we're not. We're tired. We're probably a little unhinged. And one of us definitely mace about 5 minutes away from melting into the floor. So come on, we've earned a break. I'll even let you sit next to me and steal my half of the blanket. But only if you admit I've been carrying this whole team tonight. What? I deserve a little credit. I opened snacks. I handed you pens. I didn't fall asleep in your chair even once. That's personal growth. And look, I even tried to stay serious. You saw me. I had my focused face on and everything. But my brain's already curled up in a mental blanket and checked out for the night. The rest of me is just pretending. So, unless you're planning on dragging me to the finish line, I say we call it. Right here. Right now. Just pause. Let the rest of it wait until tomorrow. Come on. The world's not ending. You can stop for 5 minutes. Sit back. Breathe. Be a person again. I'll even let you share the pillow on my side of the desk. Generosity at its finest. Limited time offer. Expires the moment I start getting sleepy enough to stop pretending I don't need you close. Not that I said anything, you heard nothing. What? Why are you looking at my shelf like that? No, seriously, that face. You've got that I just uncovered a mystery look going on. What did you see? Did I accidentally leave a cursed object in plain sight? Or no, is the tragic mug collection finally too much for your delicate aesthetic? Wait. The photo? You mean that photo? Oh. Wow. You really noticed that? Huh? I mean, yeah, that is you, in a frame, on my shelf. Don't make it weird. Okay, fine. It is a little weird, but not like creepy shrine weird. It's a good picture. You looked, I don't know, happy. I took it during that dumb picnic thing a while back. Remember? When we ended up racing each other barefoot for no reason, and you almost tripped over absolutely nothing. Classic. I liked the photo, so I printed it. Sue me. It's my shelf. I can frame whatever I want. Wait, you noticed the plushie too? Oh, come on. I had it positioned strategically, buried behind at least 2 books and a hoodie. You weren't supposed to see it. Yes, I still have it. Obviously, you gave it to me. What was I gonna do? Throw it away? Return it with a receipt and a polite apology? Okay, yes, it's small and soft and kind of ridiculous. But it's also, well, you picked it out. And I still remember what you said when you gave it to me. That you weren't sure I'd like it. That maybe it was too silly or too childish. But you still gave it to me anyway. Like it mattered that you thought of me at all. So, yeah, I kept it. I still have it. And sometimes I see it on the bed and I smile without meaning to. Like this tiny, soft reminder that someone once looked at me and thought, hey, this is something she might like. You didn't have to get it. You didn't have to do anything. But you did. And maybe you've forgotten, but I haven't. The photo, the toy, they're not about the things, they're about you. So, yeah, I kept them. Not because they're impressive or rare or Instagram worthy, but because they're mine. Because they're you. Okay? That's enough personal object analysis for one evening. Thank you. Can we go back to pretending I'm a mysterious, unreadable, emotionally distant creature of darkness now? It's really my brand. You're ruining it. No, I mean it. This is illegal levels of digging into my soul. I should kick you out just on principle. Except you'd probably get distracted by something else on the way out, like the ridiculous amount of tea mugs on my dresser. Which is, I know, I have a problem. Let's not talk about it. Seriously though, you saw too much. The framed photo, the plushie, those were supposed to be invisible, private, or at least unnoticed by the one person who they're about. You weren't supposed to ask. You weren't supposed to look at them with that face, like you suddenly understand something I've been hiding. Why are you still looking at me like that? Like you're waiting for me to confess something, when all I wanted was a break and maybe a cup of tea and not an emotional excavation. I'm tired, okay? It's late. My sarcasm levels are running low. This is dangerous territory. And yet, you're still here. Still waiting. Still kind. Still just. Looking at me like you care. Okay. Fine. You want an answer? You want a little honesty? I'll give you some. Just a little. Because if I give you too much, I might not know how to take it back. I printed that photo because I liked it. Because you looked like you. Not the version you show everyone else. Not the polite, composed, too cool to care one. The one I see when you laugh at something dumb I said. When your guard drops. When you forget to keep your distance. And I put it in a frame because sometimes, late at night, I like looking over and seeing it there. Just for a second. Just to remember that this, us, it's real. That you're not just a blur moving through my life. That you stayed. Oh, this is embarrassing. You're probably gonna tease me forever now. Or worse, you're gonna be nice. And then I'll never survive it. So let's make a deal. We don't talk about this in the morning. We don't make it weird. You pretend you didn't hear any of that. And I'll pretend I'm still the effortlessly cool one in this dynamic. Deal? Why are you still smiling like that? Don't do the gentle, understanding thing. You know I have no defense against that. It's cheating. Fine. You win. Just don't go yet. Not when it finally feels like we're actually saying something. You know, I almost didn't keep it. Not because I didn't like it. God, no. I loved that plushy toy the second you handed it to me, awkward and uncertain, like you weren't sure if it was the right thing to do. Like you thought I'd laugh, or think it was silly. But that's why it mattered so much. Because you tried anyway. Because you thought of me. Because you walked into a store, looked at 100 things, and picked that one. For me. I remember you said something like, "It's probably dumb, but I thought you might like it." And I was already holding it too tight to say anything smart back. So yeah, I kept it. Even though part of me thought, this is too much, too soft, too obvious. I put it on the bed, half hoping you never notice it if you came in, but never really trying to hide it either. Because every time I looked at it, I remembered that moment that you thought of me. It's small, a little worn now. One ear's starting to bend funny, and the fur's not as soft as it was at first. But I swear, when I come home after a terrible day and I fall into bed and the world feels too loud, I reach for it. Every single time. Not because it's just a toy, but because it's you, or at least the part of you I can hold on to when you're not here. When I don't have the nerve to say what I'm really thinking. When I miss you and don't have an excuse to call. Yeah, I sleep with it sometimes. More often than I'll ever admit again, so don't get used to this. It just helps. Even if it's silly. Even if I should have outgrown that kind of comfort years ago. It makes me feel a little safer. A little less alone. Because it reminds me of you. Of how you made me feel when you gave it to me. Of how you look at me when you don't think I notice. Of how quiet everything becomes when you're near. Sometimes I even... Okay, this is the part where I officially lose all my cool points. But sometimes I hold it tighter and imagine it's you. Just for a minute. Just long enough to feel like I'm not talking to the wall. Like someone's listening. Like you'd actually stay if I asked. I know. It sounds pathetic. But it's the truth. And for some reason, it feels less terrifying to say it now. Maybe because you're still here. Maybe because you're listening. Maybe because this moment feels more real than I expected. You're still looking at me, and you're still here. I don't know what I expected. Maybe for you to laugh, to make a joke and shake it off, to say it's just a toy and leave it at that. But you didn't. You stay quiet, soft, still, like you understood more than I said out loud. And maybe that's all I needed. You know, I used to think the feelings would pass. Like they were just a phase. Just a moment. Just something I imagined in the quiet. I told myself, it's nothing. It'll fade. But then you'd bring me tea after a long day, or help fix something without asking, or make me laugh when I didn't think I could, and it would hit me all over again. You weren't going anywhere, and neither were the feelings. You want to know why I kept the toy? The photo. Why I sit closer every time we end up in the same room. Why I ask you stupid questions just to hear the way you answer them like they matter. because you're not just someone I like. You're not just a friend, not just a good memory or a comfort object in disguise. You're the one I choose over and over, even when I try not to, even when it would be easier to look away, even when I'm scared of what it means. And I know I didn't say it in the clearest way. I didn't use the big words, didn't make a speech, didn't spell it out. But I think you know now. You've always known, haven't you? So, if this changes anything, if I just ruined the balance we had, I'm sorry. But I'm not taking it back. I couldn't keep it inside forever. Not when every time you looked at me, I wanted to tell you everything all at once. Not when holding back started to hurt more than speaking up. So yeah, there it is. That's how I feel. That's why I kept the photo. Why I sleep with the toy. Why I've been acting a little weird lately. Because you're not just someone I like, you're the one I care about most. And I guess that means I'm yours. If you want me,